Hi, this is Kim Smith here, and I'm a certified professional coach, and I'm going to talk to you today about my story and why I became a coach. So, I'm going to start out by saying that really I had a long career in marketing, which I love for the most part, but I also often felt that something was really missing. And along the way, I became interested in becoming a coach as I had mentored and helped a lot of people make changes in their lives. And I recognized that I experienced a lot of joy and fulfillment while doing this. So, coaching had been in the back of my mind for a long, long time. And I could leave it at that, but there is a deeper story that really drives my purpose, or what I like to call my why, and how that brought me to becoming a coach. So, as a kid, I had a pretty idyllic life. We lived in the suburbs and did a lot of fun family things. My mom was a teacher, and then she was a stay at home mom, and finally, or not finally, but a Girl Scout leader as well. And we had, good friends and outings and camping trips galore, and my life seemed really fun and really safe. But around middle school, just after we had moved to a new town, something was changing, and my parents, to my shock, went through a really rather messy separation and divorce. And at the time, there was really no inclination that there was anything wrong, but there was something very wrong, and it was a very painful situation to deal with. And a lot of the circumstances around it led me to feeling really, really lost for a long time. And when it first happened, I was at the very impressionable age and uncomfortable age of 13. I had just changed to a new school, and I was actually getting bullied quite a bit. So I ended up turning to a rougher crowd where I was introduced to alcohol, which I began to use to solve and to cover up, a lot of those really bad feelings that I was having around my family situation, as well as being bullied. So at first it was just an occasional binge, but as I got older, and especially as I got into my first year in college, it shifted really into fifth gear, so to speak, and I was off and running. And drinking continued to be a major part of my life for a long time. And as fun as it was for a while, maybe on the surface, it really destroyed a lot of things in my life, and I missed a lot of opportunities. So eventually, fast forward quite a few years, the drinking brought me really a lot more pain than it was covering up. And I realized that I just couldn't live that way any longer. And I really started seeing the writing on the wall and that downward path that it was leading me on, and it didn't look pretty. So I decided to make a change, and that's where I finally asked for help. And I remember it hitting me at the time that in all those years of suffering, I didn't realize I could ask for help. Somehow I thought I just had to struggle through it alone, and that there was really something inherently wrong with me. And I just wondered why I couldn't stop on my own. And this concept of asking for help was really something new to me. It was truly an eye opener. And when I did it, when I finally, picked up the phone and called my friend, my best friend, and, I'll never forget it. She said, Kim, you don't need to do this alone. There are so many people out there that want to help you and that are here to help you. And to be honest, I just had never really heard that before. If I had, it didn't, compute to me. So, and I think it kind of goes back to when my parents were first getting divorced. And I was so unhappy, and everyone in my family was unhappy. And the people I reached out to for help just weren't there for me. No adult at that time was really there to listen or to hear me. They were all dealing with their own grief and their own stuff. So I think for years I stuffed the idea that I couldn't ask for help. So fast forward, I did what I needed to do to stop drinking, and it's been a long journey of now 21 years. And over this time, I did a lot of work on myself, and I gained a deep understanding of how the things that had happened to me in my younger years had been manifesting in my life in very unhealthy ways. And I was able to turn that around, thank goodness. So, also during this time of my healing and recovery, I helped many other women with the same issues. And through this, I realized how much I loved helping people and how much I really want the best for people. And also that I derive so much joy and fulfillment through doing that. So, back to how I got into coaching, it was a combination of my healing and recovery and realizing that I was in a job that just no longer fit where I was in life. I had kind of outgrown it, so to speak, by doing all this work on myself. And I realized that the dynamic in the corporate job that I had just didn't fit anymore with what I wanted. And even though that job, had been in my mind, my dream job, and it was really the pinnacle of what I had worked so many years for, it just wasn't working for me anymore. So it was super scary at first, but I gave myself permission to actually leave the corporate job and do some extended travel. That was something I had also always wanted to do. And so I decided to do a solo round the world trip, which included trekking in Nepal and going through Southeast Asia and Europe. And all in all, it took about a year. And through learning about what some of those tour companies were doing, the places I visited, and about the culture and spirituality of the places during that trip, I kind of came back with this idea that I wanted to develop a personal development and adventure tour company once I got home. And when I did get home, I hired an amazing coach who helped me to define what that company would look like and how to make it happen. My coach helped me work through the steps it would take to really build the company, and he also held me accountable to goals and often helped me work through any negative voices that would keep me from moving forward at times, because they are there. And I've had several iterations of this idea. But now I have my coaching and retreat business, Adventures in Coaching, where I help people who are looking to make changes in their lives to address things from their past that might be holding them back, to better align them with their passion and purpose. I also coach around topics such as finding your voice, asking for and getting what you need, walking through fear, and setting boundaries in relationships and at work. So bottom line, I am super passionate about helping people become the best they can be and to have success around that, because I know personally how important it is to have true awareness of what drives us and to have a clear purpose in order to feel fulfilled in life. So I'm going to end here and say thank you so much for listening, and I wish you all the best. So please let me know if you're interested in talking to me further about how I can help you live a purpose-filled life. With that, I will end. Thanks.